YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today, guys, we have, well, an upcoming content or an upcoming selection pack by this Friday. So, Malice is here. Interesting as it is, but I'm more interested in the new Tenyi cards coming in. And Battle Wars has some great, good cards, though. Maybe I'll run it as if ever we'll get a copy of this, even on one copy. Nevertheless, I'm more interested enough with the Tenyi. Now, Malice will be the next best thing for Master Duel, I guess. Like a tier 1, or I'm not sure if it's a tier 0 though, but tier 1 is going to be like a legitimate place for Malice. Next up will be Tenyi. I do think that Tenyi would be around the tier 2 or tier 3 type of deal. It is kind of good though because we are running non-effect monsters on the field, which typically is the playstyle of Tenyis. Especially if you're going to play this with Sword Soul or with Primite, it is going to be a very powerful deck. Nevertheless, about this, I actually just tested this out recently. So you can access one field spell from this card alone, and this is a generic level 8 monster that you can actually use. Now, there are a buttload of cards in Master Duel at the moment that could bring you a monster from that field spell alone. A couple of which is Centurions, Tier Elements, and even Kashtiras. Centurions, on the other hand, might be some other good archetype to pair the new Tenyis with, but I've seen the new supports. There are only like 4 or 5, I think. Let me see. Yeah, there's no restrictions of whatsoever on the field. Plus, this monster can also get a copy of your Tenyi field spell, which allows you to draw 2 cards if ever your opponent spell summons a monster in the field, which is pretty good. Also, the new Tenyi Spirit Tsuruya is another good card as well, to gain you an access to 1 Tenyi Link monster from your extra deck right down to your field instantly. So you can actually summon a copy of your Tenyi Spirits. I don't know how to spell this one, but this is one other good card that you can summon to the field. And you can target one effect monster on your opponent control, spell summon 1 Tenyi Spirit token on the field, which allows you to gain an advantage for a level 4 that you can use for a synchro summon. So that's pretty insane for a card effect. And it is an SR, by the way. But you will be deducted by 1,000 for every link rating that that monster has. So that's one downside, or minor downside, I would say. Nevertheless, very powerful. So that's Tenyi for you. Malice, on the other hand, I do think that this is going to be on full power. So Malice cards, I think the late Malice cards that were added into the game in the TCG and the OCG is a copy of Hair and a copy of Malice in the Mirror. Now, I'm not sure if we'll get this, but as what DK just told us a while back, or in his video, that there are going to be like cyber support that's not going to be in the game alongside Malice, which is understandable. Nevertheless, if this is not going to be pre-nerfed, this is going to be a very powerful deck. Archetypes like Bestials would pair greatly with Malice because this allows your Malice cards to be banished and then you can trigger their effects. With the unbanning of Diameter this coming Friday, I think there's going to be a possibility that Mathmech and Malice would be somewhat of a good pair. But we shall see if ever that would be the case, because Master Duel has a different format from what I've seen so far. So there are going to be a lot of good changes if ever this is going to be unbanned. Good for Cybers, a lot better for Malice. Another good thing here is that if you're gonna, I think there's gonna be one good possibility that even though if the Millennium cards are gonna be nerfed, like the copy of the Treasures, or the Golem is gonna be like nerfed to 1 copy, it's not really like a big problem or issue, because what you need is just 1 copy of this, and as long as Sengenjin is on 3 copies, you're still accessible to a copy of the Zombie Vampire to the field. So on top of the visual effects, the allure, Malice is going to be the pretty good card or a pretty good deck to actually play in Master Duel at the moment. Once this is going to be in the game, is people are going to counter this, like cards like a copy of Lancia will be the next best thing as a hand trap. I think that's basically it. Lancia is the best thing that you can actually use during your opponent's turn, just to avoid your opponent from using the effect of Malice cards. But yeah, so far that's 1 card from the top of my head that can actually like counter Maliss once it's gonna be released. So as far as I know, there's only like a couple of good archetypes that can pair the new Tenyis with. Nevertheless, it's a very powerful addition to the Tenyi archetype. 3 cards, but I think 2 of them will be significant enough to actually use. I'm not sure that the other 10 Infinity would be a pretty good card though, but you know, having to add 1 Vessel and or 1 Heavenly Dragon Circle is still a pretty good card though. As long as it adds a card, it's a pretty good card. But nevertheless, I think I would like not run this and just prefer the copy of the Flawless Perfection on the field, just for the effect of non-effect monsters on the field are unaffected by monster effects, which is a pretty good card to have, and it allows you to draw 2 cards as well. So I'll take that one. So yeah, that's Tenyi and Maliss. With regards to Battle Wasp and the new zombie support, I'm not sure about the Delta Invitation though, but we shall see what we can do with this, as far as I know. And then 1 Liberator Ito, which is very funny to have, and it needs to have a requirement of a monster that triggers or that activates an effect from the hand or the monster zone in response for a card activation. So yeah, and a 4K attack nevertheless. Okay, fascinating. Battle Wasp, we shall see what we can do with this archetype, even with the new supports. But I'm more interested in the Maliss and the Tenyi once it's going to be coming in the game. But anyways, take note on the showcase and the guide that I'm going to be posting up in this channel for, I think I'm still going to be working tomorrow. But yeah, hopefully I can post that one before Friday. But that's it. That's the new selection pack coming in this Friday. I'm pretty sure that you guys are skint because of the recent selection pack, if ever you bought that. But if you didn't, that's pretty good. So that's basically it for today, guys. Keep safe, good luck. If you like this kind of content and to see some future updates and contents, subscribe. See you guys later. Goodbye.